Hi, I'm Sandy Malloy. I am the media team leader and also a licensed Unity teacher at Unity of Garden Park, and I'm going to go through directions for how to get a video from Facebook Live onto YouTube. So first of all, there's no fancy video editing. Any video editor would probably work. We use the CyberLink Power Director because it was already installed on the computer, and we basically just need to cut out the segment of video that is for the meditation and cut out the segment of video that's for the talk and make them into separate videos and upload each to YouTube, so that if somebody just wants to see the meditation or go through a playlist of meditations or just see a talk or go through the playlist of talks, that they can do that separately without seeing everything else in the broadcast from that day. And we just use the video editing software on the computer, not because it's the best by any means, although I've not had any problems with it at all, but it just suits our needs because all we're doing is cutting things out. So the first thing you need to do is get the video. Now, the best thing to do is talk to the person who's streaming that day and make sure they record it. If they record it and not just stream it, then it's really easy to get that file. It's like using a thumb drive, an external hard drive. You just plug it into your computer anywhere, any computer. You could even take it to your own video equipment if you have Adobe at home and you like it better, and you can go ahead and upload that onto your computer. Now you've got the file. If not, you will be on the computer that is used to show the PowerPoint. So it's the charcoal gray, dark gray computer on the left, up on the pedestal. That is the computer that houses the software and everything you'll need to do this. So if you don't have the video, you're going to need to go get it. So when you open Chrome on that computer at Garden Park, it should look like this because you'll be signed into the Unity of Garden Park Gmail account. It's not the official account, it's like an account we use only. So you go ahead and click on Facebook. That bookmark takes you right to the Unity of Garden Park Facebook page. And in order to download it, it doesn't allow us to directly download the video. Instead, you're going to have to cut and paste this URL into an app downloader. So this address at the top here in the bar just shows us where the video lives on the internet. So you're going to copy it. I just hit Control-C. And then you're going to Google download Facebook videos free or free Facebook video downloader. And you're going to pick one of the top 3 that show up here that are free. And they all work pretty much the same way. When you open it up, there's going to be a place to copy paste the link that you just copy and then download it. And then after it's downloaded, like you can see mine is here, then you're just going to put that into your editing software. We are using the Power Director that's in, if you come down here to the bottom corner and scroll through, you'll see CyberLink Power Director. It looks like this. Now I have Power Director on my computer also. However, it has this application manager, so I have to launch it from here. But the same exact program comes up. We're going to use full mode. Don't be scared about that. Just has what we need in it. And then it also populates automatically with some songs and videos and pictures already. We don't really need those, but I don't know how to get them out of there, and they show up every time, and it takes too long to delete them, so I just let them stay. Then to get my video in there, I can do 2 things. I can just click on it here and literally drag it here and drop it, and there it is. If you're not a drag and drop person because you don't like to work with your window minimized, then that's cool too. You can just go to File, scroll down to Import, go to Media Files, click on it here, and then click Open, and the same thing will happen. In order to be able to work with this file, then we can just kind of ignore all the other ones. We're going to click and drag and hold and put it onto the timeline down here. And it is a fairly long video, and that's why we're going to cut it, because people generally don't want to see all the announcements and things. If they do, they'll go to Facebook. And let's see, we want to find where the meditation starts. So basically, we can see the platform is Kathy Mountain, and it looks like Kathy Mountain is leaving, and Reverend Kathy is just getting started, so I'm going to start playing it there. And that is a good spot right there, because she's about to say it's time for meditation. So I paused the video, and you can see where this red line is. I want to split that. So right here on the splitter button, I'm going to split this, and that allows me to get rid of all of this stuff that's before it. So when I click on here, it highlights it in blue. I'm going to right click and go to cut, and I'm going to come down to cut, fill a gap, and move all clips. What that's going to do is it's going to remove everything before it and drag what's left to the beginning of the video. So that if I scroll back here, it looks like the very beginning of the video is right where I cut it for the meditation.
My favorite time, meditation.
So I would generally start by cutting out the meditation and finding where the meditation ends, and wherever it is, making another cut, and just selecting just the meditation. So I might have to play a little bit. When I find at the end of the meditation, I'm not going to do the meditation today, so I'm not going to really worry about this much longer, but I would make a cut in there, and then I would delete this section, and then I could just work with the meditation. However, I want to come to this undo button because I've actually already done the meditation. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the meditation off like I've already done it. And you'll be doing the exact same thing for meditation that you do for the talk. And now there's a song after that, so I also want to skip past the song. Oh, and I want to get the beginning of her talk. So you can see that she's clapping there, and I'm going to play it for a minute. And she'll probably say thank you.
We love love around here. Oh. Let me just get a drink of water here really quick.
We'll cut this off because we don't want people to have to see this in the beginning. We want a good, clean start. And that looked like that might be it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it there. And again, I'm going to right click here, and I'm going to get rid of all this first part. And now let's play it just to make sure.
I want to start out with a story.
Yes, so that is perfect. Here I am at the beginning, and now I just need to find the end. So I can use the scroll bar here to kind of scroll through and see if I can find where I think it ends. And sometimes it helps to wait, because after you scroll it, it generates a little thumbnail, and I can see if I go to about right here, that looks like the affirmation. So, and look at her hands are together, so that's namaste. So I know I'm close. I can just play it.
That living Christ in me truly sees,
and just wait until she sounds like she's done
and honors
and ready to move on to love offering.
That Christ, living Christ, in each and every one of you. Namaste.
Oh, and you can kind of hear the people saying namaste, and I kind of cut them off, so I'm going to let it go for just like a half second more. And they're going to start to clap. So then again, I'm going to come back to my split key and make a split right there. And I'm going to highlight this end part because I don't want it. I want to right click on it and cut it off. And it didn't ask me to fill the gap because this is already at the beginning. So if I scroll, I can scroll all the way back to the beginning, and it only has my video in it. So this is probably ready to produce. However, if you have any audio, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to fix audio in just a minute. You can click here and fix audio. For example, if you hear some white noise in the background, let's play
enumerating all the difficulties I have with the parts of my body that no longer work very well.
So I don't know if you could hear that or not in that playing, but in the background there is a little bit of white noise, and we can eliminate that. Also, it looks good here. If you notice the voice, you can see how it goes up and down. If it's just barely tipping in places in the yellow, that's generally pretty good. If it gets too much yellow, it could be too loud. So we could check some of these just to make sure they're okay.
Time. And 3 is our choice
volume.
To be generous.
Should be about halfway. And that could be all the way up.
The Dalai Lama said,
and it doesn't sound too loud to me, so I'm going to leave that go. And in order to go ahead and prepare this to get it ready, the only thing I would do is select it all and fade it in and out. That's pretty easy. So I just come up to Tools, and I come to my PIP Designer, and I'm going to allow fading, and I'm going to fade in and fade out, and click OK. And now if I go back to the beginning and I replay the beginning,
I want to start out with a story.
And it does the same thing at the end, just automatically will fade out. So you can see in her namaste.
And each and every one of you. Namaste.
So, but basically this is good to go. I'm going to go ahead and hit produce up here, and it's going to make a copy that's ready to go. And here it's probably already set to the dimensions you need. The only thing I would hint here is to make sure you know where it's going to go. So I always pick the desktop just so I know where it's going to go, and possibly give it a title like July 11th. And then it's going to save it on my desktop as July 11th. And then I click Start. And it will show up on my desktop. So if we do want to touch up the audio and get rid of any noise in the background, it's not very difficult to do. First of all, we're going to make a rendering or produce this as a WAV file or just an audio file. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to produce again, but this time we're going to change from an MP4, which is a video, we're going to change this instead to a JPEG. So I'm going to click on the little musical notes. I'm going to change this to a WAV file, and I'm going to go ahead and leave the quality there. And then I'm also going to make sure that I know where it's at. I'm just going to say that it's July 11th audio. I'm going to make sure I know it's on the desktop so I know where to find it. And then I'm going to go ahead and click Start. And this usually goes pretty fast because the audio file's pretty small. We downloaded it, or we're rendering it at a pretty small quality, and it goes fast because it's just audio. So I'm not gonna close out of this. I'm just going to minimize it, and that way I can see what's on my desktop. And here it is, July audio. Minimize these, and I'm gonna look for a free software called Audacity. Now Audacity is free download, so if you can't find it or you don't have it on your computer, if you're working from home, just look up Audacity download. And you can also do the same thing here. You can import it, go to File, and then import the file, or you can minimize your screen and then just drag the file into Audacity like this. Now, what we want to do is we want to view it zoomed in so we can see some place where Reverend Kathy wasn't talking. So I'm going to zoom in a lot. Bear with me and my mouse here for a second. So if you see these areas right here, these are areas where she paused a little bit to talk. If you see a pause and then it was a little something, or someone, this right here looks like this could have been an audience, somebody in the audience said something. You really need somewhere where you can see this and she has paused. And if you can't find anything that's very long, like this, or maybe this, just keep zooming in. The longer you can get, the better. and you want to highlight it. This looks pretty good here, I think. If you're not sure, you can always play it from there. And you can hear that kind of hiss in the background. That's what we want to get rid of so that it sounds more professional. So we're just going to click and drag through that space where it's supposed to be completely noiseless. And we're going to denoise it a little bit. So with this selected, we're going to come up to Effects, and then we're going to come down to Noise Reduction and Get Noise Profile. Now, what that did is it just listened to that hiss so that it knows how to take it out. Leave that on there. I'm going to double click this so it's selected all of the audio, and it will hold that data when you come back to it, and it's selected how much noise reduction it thinks we should have. Now we could slide these and manually manipulate it, but the profile said this is what it was needed, and so we click OK. And then we applied that to the whole thing because I double clicked on the whole thing. So all of the audio for the entire talk will be normalized. So now we can go back through and kind of listen to some of this.
And children.
And now do you see that
when
part where she's paused?
Stuffed animals
you listen.
Children, like this.
Nothing. So she had turned around to get something at that point, and that's why she paused. She was talking about those stuffed animals, and so there's no longer any noise. So now we need to get this back into our video editing software. So we're going to get a file and export, and we're going to also export it as a WAV file. These are just quickest. And we're going to put it on the desktop, and then it says July audio, and I always put like modified, like I've changed this so I remember which is which. And then click OK, and now it's exporting it to the desktop. So I can close out of the project. I don't need to save it because I'm done with it. And here is our original file, and here is our new file with the MOD on it. So now I'm going to come back to Power Director, and I'm just going to arrow back because I've produced this. I'm arrowing back to my project, and I'm going to drag in my new audio, and I'm going to drag my new audio into the workspace. So I don't think I actually got it. Here we go. I'm going to click and hold it and drag it down to this timeline that's just audio here. Now I'm going to unclick the original audio, and if you don't unclick the original audio, you'll be able to hear both sets of audio on the video. And we want to get rid of that hiss. That'll put the hiss right back in. So you gotta make sure you unclick this right here. And now we can listen to make sure that the audio and the visual match up, meaning we need to make sure that her lips are moving when her words come out of her mouth, so they're synced up.
And he tells the story of a 92-year-old man.
Need help, you can pop this window out.
Very well presented.
And make it bigger.
Took great care of his appearance.
And we're just watching her lips.
And he was moving into an old people's home one day, and his wife of 70 years
to me, that looks pretty good.
Died.
I don't really see much of a...
Right? And your first reaction when you see a child sleeping is, oh.
Yeah, to me, I think that looks like it's good. I don't really see much. If there's any delay, I don't really notice any. So now we are, not only are we ready with the video being cut and paste the link that we needed, and maybe even it's faded in and faded out. Let's see if we retained that fade out that we put in the last part of the video. Just making sure that it stayed there.
One of you. Namaste.
Yep, there it is. And so it's ready to go. If you would like to add an intro video, that's pretty easy too. So you just got to know where the intro video lives. I think I have a copy of that. I can use one of these videos as an example. All we need to do is take the intro video and drag it. Oh, that looks like we should probably go back to the beginning. I could drag it that whole way, but that would take forever. And drag it to the beginning here. and I want to insert and move all clips. And what that does is it moves both sets, both my new audio and my old audio. So like pretend like this was my intro video. It would play the intro video first, whatever that video is, and then it would fade right into our promotion
I want to
video,
start out with a story.
our talk. So I'm just going to undo this, and I'm going to go ahead and produce it as is with this audio checked and that audio not checked. So I'll go to produce, and now I've got to change this back to a video file. We're going to go AVC and make sure that says MP4, and we are doing 1920 by 1080 30 per second. So that 30 frames per second, that is what Facebook automatically spits out. So we're just going to automatically use that too. And then here, let's open this up. I want to make sure that I know where this is going again. So I just make sure I've got my desktop and I've got July 11 talk. So I know how to find this video. And I'm going to go ahead and start this. This was going to take a little bit longer. You might go do something or watch something or be working on something else while you're waiting for this to finish rendering. So after our video is rendered, it's living here on the desktop. It says July 11th talk, just like I saved it. We're going to go to YouTube and get ready to upload it. So we're going to click right here under create on this little, looks like a little camera, a little video camera, upload video. And you can either select the file if you are a selector and you want to click it and then click open, or you can drag it right into the spot and it will start to upload the video. So here we're going to make sure that we have the right talk title, and we can get that from going back to the Facebook page. And it was The Nature of True Joy, based on the Book of Joy, with Reverend Kathy. Now, I'm going to come back to the description, because in the description we'll have to put all of her references that she alluded to, and the talk will have to be typed there. And so I just want to go over basically what you need to have in the video. First of all, we're going to include the thumbnail that was used in the talk, so that it's not just a picture of her from the video. And so I've already downloaded that slide as a JPEG, and I'm just going to pop that in there, and that will automatically be the card that everybody sees on YouTube when they're searching videos. They'll see that first. Then I'm going to select the Sunday service playlist. That's kind of like, it's not the whole service, it's just the talk. Some people don't realize that the talk is the sermon, and it's not. We don't really call it a sermon, so we just call it the Sunday service. And then that way it'll go on to that playlist for people who use the playlist. No, it's not made for kids. However, we're not going to restrict it because anybody can watch it. There's nothing inappropriate in it. And then I really need to change this. I think there's a way to make this standard always come up there. Unity would be a tag because we're a Unity church. It doesn't matter actually if this is capitalized or not in the tag. I'm going to put Garden Park as a separate tab, and then Joy as the topic. And then people who are looking for the Book of Joy specifically, that's what we're talking about. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on there too. And then it is in English, and this content has never been on television. Facebook is not television. The recording date is the 11th. Now, putting this in makes our video more likely to be found. So we want to make sure that we put capitalize. the place, there we go. We're at Galbraith Road, Cincinnati, Ohio, the place and the date for the recording in case somebody would happen to be looking for us. And we're going to hold inappropriate comments, and it has like an algorithm that decides that. We'll go to next. And then you don't have to do anything. You could add an end screen, is always nice because it suggests other videos. It will suggest what they think is the best video for the viewer and the video that has been most recently uploaded by us. So the meditation usually pops up in there, so they could go watch that. That's one really good reason. And then they could just click and watch on it at the end there. It's a good reason to put the cards in there at the end screen. Oops. Next. Okay, so it will check to make sure that there's no copyrighted material. And so it's just letting us know that the processing is going to finish, and it will run that when the processing is finished. Then we're just going to go ahead and make it public and publish it when it's finished. And you can see we have 40 minutes left. So on a Sunday, if you're doing this on a Sunday, that time is pretty close to what it will always be. A lot of times I like to do this uploading on a Monday morning when it's not so popular time to upload thing. I think Sundays for churches definitely has YouTube video with their busy with their uploads, but other content creators also use Sunday as a day to upload, and so upload times just take longer. Also, the talk is going to take much longer to upload, almost in real time, compared to the meditation, which is only 10 minutes long anyway, so it's not going to generally take more than 10 minutes. So you can find something else to do. And now here you can see I've put in the book that she refers to, and also a link to Amazon, and the video that she referred to, and a link to YouTube. And so here we are back on our channel content page, and you can see both of the videos have uploaded. If you need to do any editing, you just click on this pencil right here and you can add details. You could click and change the thumbnail so that this card that everyone sees when they're looking for the video would be different. Whatever changes you make, just make sure that you click the save button when you're finished, and that is how easy it is to upload the YouTube video. And you would do the same thing for the meditation. You would just do, of course, the meditation section. So thanks for watching, and there'll be another video on how we stream using the ATEM. Have a good one.